Imran Ajmain asks, how can pop acts start touring like indie bands do? State to state, uni to uni, how would they start? So for touring, right, I think this is the thing. My experience with touring has always, for me, it's always been an indie capacity. So I know how to, I have experience in organizing indie tours, not very big. Me and my manager, we organized a European tour, which was completely indie. We've organized, more of my manager, organized like KL Penang tour, but we haven't done like anything from state to state, every single state. But I have performed in different universities. So it's a matter of like, Sekolah Seni Johor, cool, very cool, man. So in terms of touring as a pop act, I think it doesn't matter what kind of artist you are or what kind of genre. Touring basically, the basic logistics are you need to find a place to perform, and means you need to find a venue, right? And you have to find an audience that wants to come to your gig at that venue, so to say venue. So one is, at the very, very basic level, is going to people and saying that, hey, I am an artist, I play this style of music, can I perform at your place? Now the question then is a matter of whether the venue is actually a typical, it's an actual typical regular music venue, or it's not a regular music venue. For example, you could be performing in university, like, you could be doing a show at UPM or USM or UM. Now the question is, how do you get a gig at a university? Now most of the time, if you want to get it directly from the university, organized by like probably a big organization or the university itself through one of the major programs, that may be difficult because it will probably require a lot of planning ahead to get into that, and there's going to be probably a lot of paperwork or bureaucracy or like layers of approval, things like that. But for most universities, there are a lot of student associations or student clubs that may want to organize events. And so the question then is, are you going to perform at an existing event that they normally organize, or are they going to organize a special event for you? Now, that is, so there are so many ways to approach this, and a lot of it's just emailing people and asking, just going out and asking. Like when I was touring in the US, right, one of the things we did was we just sent emails out to as many venues in Northern California. We just sent a standard email saying that, hey, we are so and so, and we would like to perform, and this is our style, this is our thing, and these are what we are looking from the gig, what we're looking to get from the gig. And this is a question also, after a question of what kind of money do you want to get if you want to perform and tour. So if you have a certain, if someone's sponsoring your tour, or if it's a self-organized indie tour where you're funding the thing and the venue, if they don't have to pay you, let's say you're a new act and you want to perform and you want to tour, and let's say you're okay, like, okay, no one knows me, but I want to perform in every state in Malaysia, for example. I'm not saying that this is easy to do. I don't think it's easy to do. It's going to be a lot of work. But if you wanted to do that, what I would do is first open a spreadsheet and start listing every possible venue, state by state, and check out every single possible place that could be a fit for my style of music or what I want to do. Like, check every single one. And then one is in terms of venue. The other one is in terms of within those venues. So it's a lot of research. The sub research would be figuring out all the possible clubs, organizations that might want to host me. And then after that, so you have universities, you have clubs, organizations within those universities. You want to check out like cafes, restaurants, typical music venues, and also not so typical music venues. Another option would be trying to find a chain. So if you, like, say, Mr. Imran Ajmain, who is someone, he's a star, right? So he could potentially go to a bigger sponsor that might have a chain of shops or restaurants or cafes or some kind of presence in everywhere. And that would mean that, you know, if, for example, if he approached McDonald's and he said, I want to do a show in every McDonald's. So if you're listening to this and you like think, you know, you could potentially do that. If you pitch that, the question is whether they would say yes or no, and what would they get and what would you get. And it's a matter of negotiation, really. The university thing would be just approaching every single one and trying to get one anchor gig, one gig to start, and then trying to plan the rest of it for a tour. So it's a lot of emailing and calling, really, because if you can get every university to agree on certain dates and try to see if someone can organize, it's a matter of how close the dates are, whether you want to do it back to back, or whether you want to actually do it you know, like within 6 months, and you know, maybe this weekend here, another weekend here, another weekend here, another weekend here, and the tour spans 6 months or to a year or something. So it really depends on how much lead time you have, and whether how much money you want to make, and what you want to get from the tour, whether you're trying to just build a branding or presence, or you want to get a new audience, or you want to promote something and get really cool video footage, or you want to sell CDs or merch, or you just want to tour, and you know, it's not really to make a lot of money from it. So it really depends. There's so many ways around this. Again, you know, if you're listening to this, if anyone's like really curious about like the music business stuff or like things like this, I do classes on this. I do consultations as well. So if anyone's curious about this, you can hit me up for stuff like that as well.